Welcome to Question Marks. This is the finale to our 5th season, and people often make big deals out of certain anniversaries, the 5s, the 10s. Well, since this is number 5, we're going to go back and do something literally unheard of. We're going to answer the unanswered questions that have been posed over the past nearly 60 episodes. Okay, just a few of them, 12 of them to be exact. I'm your host, Rob McCartney, and tackling the topics tonight are...
Grayson McCartney.
Hope McCartney.
Brady Stewart with sports.
And I'm Cam Broham. Back to you.
Anything from the sports desk there, Brady?
You know what? I love you. Bye.
All right, over the past 5 seasons, we've hit on issues like parenting and families, success, failure, and competition, dreams, love, and marriage. I want to start with good and evil.
Yeah.
So from season 3, episode 9, the question was asked, are you good? I think I'm good. That depends. You have to define good, right? I'm good. I'm out.
Like, are you
good, homie?
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's kind of what that sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I think you could look at it that way, but I took it as in, are you a good person? Are you in a good place in the world or whatever? And so I think yes on both those cases or instances, because I'm confident where I am now, and mostly confident where I am now, and I think I have an idea of how the world works.
Now, did you go back to season 3, episode 9, and listen to it so you compare our answers? To
Did
what
not.
we say today?
That's what actually I'm glad you asked that, because I did not. I just went back and I listened to every single last question.
Oh, okay.
And I have them all. And so this conversation is just going to go however the conversation goes. But I did not listen to the lead ups to them. Sometimes I did go down a couple of rabbit holes where I heard some of the conversations from earlier in the episodes, but no, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't trying. I'm not trying to game the system.
That's
We
cool.
didn't
I
even
was
answer
like,
these anyway.
Yeah.
he's like, gotcha, you're
Yeah.
evil. Ha.
Well, isn't it true? In season 2, episode 14.
With the spotlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm good. I think so.
Yeah, I'm not actively seeking evil ever in my life. So I guess the other alternative is good, right?
Well, you went into law, so
I mean, okay, to be fair, that was the only time I seeked evil. And so I guess so.
I think I'm in the same spot. Like, I don't try to be a bad person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm sure bad people don't think they're being a bad person either,
I don't know.
but maybe some do.
Yeah.
Maybe some are like the means justify the ends or something. I don't know.
I
But,
was-
yeah, I feel like I'm a supportive friend.
Yeah.
I make time for the people I care about.
Mm.
If we're talking like a biblical sense, we're all not good, right? That's the whole point of that whole thing.
Touche.
So, well, oh, okay. I'm sorry. My mom doesn't like that one.
Nope.
She doesn't like that you're not good in the biblical sense, or she doesn't like.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I think overall,
In the biblical sense.
I try to do
Yeah.
good things. You know, I think not being selfish is the biggest thing. Like sometimes I'm tired and don't want to do anything, but I still try to make time for people.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can hang my hat on that.
Make time for the people you care about.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
What a sweet guy.
I know.
He is.
Yeah,
He's a
give
good
me all
guy.
the brownie points right now.
I think that I am good, but I know that there is evil that exists inside of me.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't provoke her.
There is pizzazz that will be released.
Pizzazz.
Oh, release the
Yeah.
pizzazz. Nice.
Ooh.
But
First throwback.
It's to this season.
yeah, this own season. But I don't know. Like I think that there is anger in me and things like impulses in me that I'm not necessarily like I wouldn't act on and I'm not proud of. But I think I'm good because I know not to do that.
Yeah.
And like that's messed up. And like I wouldn't do that too. I know where, my head delineates
Yeah,
what
you
I
can
should
make
and
the
shouldn't do,
decision between
yeah.
good and evil.
Yes, my
Yeah.
judgment is good. And so I think therefore I am good.
Oh, thanks, Rene Descartes.
But
That was nice.
That was
Yeah.
Good on
Yeah.
you.
No.
Good. Philosopher? Okay.
Are you there? Good. It's me, Cam. Is that what we're
So
doing?
profound.
So, yeah.
It's crazy.
well, you know what? I'm Michael Jackson and I'm bad. I'm
Oh.
bad. I'm bad.
Oh, the good
Sorry.
form of bad.
I
know
had-
it.
Nice.
Yeah,
just
I don't know.
Yeah, the good bad.
Yeah.
With
Like
like
in the
Like,
90s
I'm
when everything
good.
was bad.
Yeah.
Was
He's
good.
like, I'm good. Or sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And he's a smooth criminal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I'll
Sorry
go.
about
No,
that.
that's cool. I think way back 2 seasons ago, I said I was good. I think I'm still good. I still revel in being a bit of a troublemaker. I think
Absolutely.
earlier this season, I talked about kind of being a dick on the roads to people just for fun
Yeah.
because they're going faster than me and I'm in their way. And I'm like, well, sucks to be you, buddy.
Well, you're
Could've
actually
left
doing a
15 minutes earlier.
service to everyone else.
Yeah,
besides
right.
that
Oh,
person.
there you go.
Or they're swerving, they're, whatever. So
Yeah.
not to bring it around to a traffic thing, but
Well, you're bad for a good time.
I'm bad for a good reason.
We
Absolutely.
But
just
yeah,
call that shenanigans.
Overall good with like sprinklings of shenanigans.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to
Sprinklings
put
of
it.
chaos. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Nice.
I like
So in season 1, episode 8, the Us episode, Grayson asked, "Are you who you want to be?" So if we're all good,
No.
or do we all want to be good?
Do we need to get
Oh,
Elliot?
I don't know what-
different
yeah.
question. Different question.
That
yeah.
is 2 different questions.
If
Okay.
you're asking if we are who we want to be, I'm going to say no. But if you're
Yeah.
asking, do you want to be good, I'm going to say yes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, the question was, are you who you want to be?
No.
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 Okay.
So
Good
think I'm
job.
a
Next
good
question.
person. Yeah.
I couldn't think of anybody else I would rather be than me.
I mean,
That's fair.
I'm
And
sitting.
that's all I can be is me.
Oh, that's
so
great.
I'm
I am
sitting
who I
right
wanna
across
be.
the table from you,
I
man.
feel
You
like
don't have to lie.
Is that like a Ziggy
I
kind
feel
of
like those
like
are 3 different
greeting
songs
card?
that you just like.
I'm speaking in
lyrics
book
that I
titles
just
and lyrics
yeah.
and Ziggy's. Yeah, all
Ziggy's.
Ziggy.
That was so good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
I'm just saying. I mean, I would love to have the fame and fortune of somebody else if that was the question.
Yeah.
If I could live Jim Carrey's life, but as me, I'd take it.
Fair.
And you
But I'd
nail it.
still be me. Is the
Yeah.
thing. I wouldn't be in Jim Carrey's body. I would still be me doing all those things.
That would be awkward.
It would be very weird.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
But that's what I
the
mean.
mask.
Jim would.
Yeah,
Unreal.
I couldn't see
Oh.
me doing anything else but what I do in that realm. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
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 I'm kind of with the.
I would
not,
do it.
Not necessarily in the fame and fortune way, but there's a future me that's in my own head. It's like, what do I aspire to be, and what these goals I hope to accomplish. And in my head, I do at some point. I obviously haven't done all the things I want to do, but
Yeah.
So for right now, I am not the person I want to be because I have that ideal Grayson in my own head.
Yeah.
I don't know if that checks for anyone else.
No,
No, same.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Whenever we
same.
first asked that question, there were so many things I didn't know I was going to be, and now it's just changed so much more. From
That is so true.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like so long ago, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it feels crazy. I mean, like I never realized how I feel like I'm being a very good father at the moment. That's something I had no idea justification of what it would feel like until it started happening. I think I'm doing a pretty good job at it. I really enjoy it, and I think I need to be better work wise and figuring out where I'm going to be landing and financially supporting my family. But besides that, like my home life is amazing. It was something that I thought it would be a little bit more difficult for me to do as a social butterfly, but my home life, I couldn't be happier. So I'm very happy in that respect, but in other respects, I think I can be a little better. So I've got my
Nice.
certain
Yeah.
contentions. but-
Yes and no at the same time is what I'm
Mhm.
hearing.
Yeah, well, the worst answer. The worst answer.
I heard no disagreement from Bob. So
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Give us some
We'll
years.
hear.
Yeah, he doesn't know words
Yeah.
yet. As soon as he knows words.
Once he hits the
It's over.
words.
Yeah.
Once we get the word, we're in trouble.
So we talk about it's actually Brady's. You what you're saying is interesting because it leads me into what I think would be a great question, where you're going. Season 2, episode 14, the dreams episode. One of them. The question was, have you given up on your dreams?
No, definitely have not given up on my dreams. That's one thing that it's still am fighting for on a lot of parts.
Mhm.
I mean, job wise, I'm still fighting for what I want to be in that realm. Father wise, I'm still fighting to be a better father. I'm very content with where I am now. I'm doing great, but I can do better.
Mhm.
Like my little boy, I've made up tons of songs about it, and I'm not stopping. I mean, like,
Are they
is that
are
the-
they EDM?
No, they're not actually. I wish they would be, but I can't get the right beat in some reason. My mouth doesn't make them. Yeah.
He's Bob.
What?
He's Bob. You know it. Yeah, there's another one.
Really, really, Bob. That's beautiful.
That was you're a genius, man.
bringing it
Oh,
back.
Great.
fuck, you've
Bring
been
it back.
saving this
He
till
is.
season
Yeah.
6?
Yeah. Goodness.
5.
Yeah, like there's.
This is the end of 5.
Oh,
Season 6
man.
is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
Watch out, buddy.
This is the
Yeah.
finale of 5.
Man, whoopsie doopsie. Whoopsie doopsie.
So you're apparently not getting enough dreams.
No, apparently not.
Wow.
Hope you giving up on your dreams?
I was trying to figure out my answer for that. I don't think that I have given up on my inherent dream, the root of the dream. I've
Mhm.
just altered the path in which I'm getting there, because I think my dream, the root is like I want to be successful in something that I can be also fulfilled in creatively. So I don't know. Whatever. I feel like there's a lot of different artistic sides of me that I can't really pinpoint what is going to be the best one to fully lean into in a
Yeah.
career slash, I don't know. And I don't think I have to pick one, but I there was like I had my college degree in theater. I got into like mixology for a while. I got into like crafty stuff like macrame and doing stuff like that. I've gotten into like now I'm getting into, I call it doodling, but it's much bigger than that and much broader, but doodling.
Yeah.
And I just, my dream is that I want to be able to be at a point in life where I can just do that and that be what is creating my like financial wellness and like I don't know,
Yeah.
mental wellness and stuff like that. But like I said, the path in which I have gone to figure that dream out has altered. Like I was going into theater and like going into mixology and stuff like that. So those are the different paths, but the root has stayed the same.
Yeah.
So
You've got the lovely part of having the absolute amazing flow of creativity that you have, and the tough part is you're good in any medium you want to be in. So it's
sucks.
just it doesn't.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You're
Dang
in
it,
every
yeah.
medium.
Yeah, I'm kidding,
Oh,
I'm
that's
kidding, I'm not, I'm not.
brutal.
Yeah, just having an amazing creative freedom
no.
to be, and then realizing that you got this new medium you're good at, and you want to go to there for a little while, and you realize it's this new medium. You're like, oh my goodness, I got to try here for a little while. I get it. That's a beautiful place to be.
It is, yeah. It's I don't think I'm good at every medium I try by any means. But what I really lack in is like the discipline and getting like spending time to get better. Because I think I want to like for instance, music is a big one that I really feel like I could lean into, but I would have to like learn an instrument again, and that just seems like a big commitment. A big brain
Yeah,
commitment.
usually they don't just like give you all the fame and fortune off of your idea.
No.
It does usually take a little bit
Sadly, no. It takes more effort than that.
So is it the time commitment or the brain commitment that's bothering you?
Yeah.
I've never heard brain commitment.
Well, so it's definitely the brain commitment because there's a quote that it's been sticking. I heard it once and it's been sticking in my mind that the time is going to pass anyway. Like, might as well do it because time's going to pass. Like, life is going to keep happening anyway. Why not? Why not do it? But brain commitment, like with energy and
motivation.
all of that
and all
jazz.
that.
Yeah.
All that jazz.
All that pizzazz.
Oh,
All that
we're back.
pizzazz.
We're back.
So yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I swayed
got
a
you,
lot
that's
from
fine.
the question.
No, you didn't. Actually, that's fine. Yeah.
That's a good answer. Yeah. Feel good about that one.
You feel good about it? Okay.
Feel good about her
my
answer.
Okay. Do you want to
Yeah,
feel good
that's
about
good.
yours? Do you want to? You don't have to.
My answer?
Yeah.
Oh, I've most definitely given up on most of my dreams that I had. At that
Honesty.
time when I wrote that question, for sure.
Mhm.
I have new dreams. I have, I think the biggest thing about me that I've noticed, I was probably 23 when we were doing that, and I'm, almost 27. I think this happens to everyone in their 20s, is like, I think I would sell out,
Yeah.
Mostly because it's really hard to live right now unless you make a good amount of money. But no, I have new dreams, and I've realized that certain things are more important than maybe some of my earlier selfish aspirations. Like, I think it's more important for me to be attentive and caring about people around me than I recognized when I was 23. And when I was 23, I was like, I can do this. I can be me. I can be an individual and do all this. And then by now, I'm kind of like, I don't want to live like as a purely individual person, I don't want to have I want to have a comfortable, fun life. You know, I don't want to have to struggle too much just to potentially fail,
Yeah.
which is a brutal thing to come to. But there are things I still want to do and accomplish and stuff like that. And there are things that have changed over these last 3 years, whatever it's been. So
Mhm.
I have not given up on all of my dreams altogether, but the dreams I had at that point are definitely in the toilet.
For what it's worth, I saw a stat the other day, to live comfortably, and you can define that however you want. To live comfortably, actually, they define it like 50% of your paycheck would go to paying bills, 30% would go to just recreation, 20% would go to saving and investing. If you could maintain that in Nebraska, to live comfortably under that scenario, you would have to have a salary of about $89,666, I think.
I am south.
So-
Mark of the
For
beast
yourself.
on the end of that one.
Yeah,
too.
I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. It is. And
Good
then
stat.
Iowa is slightly less by like a couple $100.
But you have to live in Iowa. So
But you,
that's-
so just FYI,
Yeah.
if you want to give
I'm-
yourself
I'm
a
not just talking-
random goal, no, I'm just
I'm not only talking about finance
Right,
either.
right,
I
right.
just want to, I want to have a good group of people around me throughout my life, and they don't have to be the same people. But
sure.
I'd like some of these people to stick around, obviously. But I just want to be in a community. It's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Move to a commune.
There we
There you
go.
go.
Yeah, living off the land.
New dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some folks down in Argentina or so that we can hook you up with.
Ooh.
Heck
Are they
yeah.
German?
No. No, I think they're all
Maybe
dead.
some of them. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just very. Yeah.
If we're
sorry.
thinking of the
Sorry.
same people, yeah.
That was a World War II joke.
Yes,
It was.
that's what I was saying. Yeah, they all ran down there. Yeah. Season 3, episode 6 actually was a control issue, and this leads into that. How much control do you have over your own life? So, I mean, if you're trying to maintain and find those dreams, do you have any control? Do you have to automatically change the dreams because you have no control over your life? I'll go first. I think actually you have, I would say 90% of control over your life. 10% is just whatever's going to happen. You got to be ready to take a body blow. The ratio maybe 80-20. Maybe at this point in my life, I think it's more 90-10, just because I've been able to get to a point where I've got the chess pieces where most of the chess pieces where I'd like them to be. Some of them aren't, but and so I have the chessboard ahead of me or in front of me, and I can see the game. You guys, I think, might be in a position where you're still figuring out which pieces need to go where and what the best strategy is.
Still learning the game.
Still in the game, maybe. Yeah.
What's the knight?
You
do?
don't move them like checkers. So I think in my case, I do have most control over my life, but you have to be ready to roll with the punch, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with you there. I
So-
think I'd see it as kind of an uncomfortable amount of control, almost for a sense. Like I have so much time that I could spend making, going towards those dreams, more time than I thought I would. Like obviously I have a job where I answer to people and like I don't have control over that, but I do have control over my career a little bit. But mostly like my free time, I have much more control over that than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Like obviously having a kid might throw a wrench in that.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
but right now, yeah, I sit like if I'm like sitting around and all of a sudden I'm done with everything for the day at 8 o'clock, and like at night I'm like, I should do like I need to be doing something. It's almost like this pressure to take more control because
Yeah.
I know that potential is out there if I did it. But kind of like what Hope said, you just get a motivational issue at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Brady, you
I
got
can
total
agree.
control over your life?
Not total, no. I will say my own actions, I have total control over. Everything that I do in my own right, I have control over. What that time and effort is being spent towards has changed up significantly now having a son.
Mhm.
Because the responsibilities have changed. And at any point, if I want to leave my boy at daycare or pass the time and pay the fee, we could do that. I could. It would be it's just not something I do, because why would you do that? Like, it's just not good for you and not good for your daycare trust system, or not good for your son, because I want to spend time with them. I actively choose to spend more time with my son. I think the biggest wrench that I've been having is stuff that's out of my control that used to be like, if I got sick or Brianna got sick, it was pretty easy to deal with. But if Warren gets sick, that is a completely new game changer. It's not something that's out of my control. Like, him getting sick is out of my control, of course. But the time that I spend with him is going to be, I could send you to daycare. They aren't going to like me. They're going to send you back.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just going to spend time with you all day. It's just me and my sick boy hanging out and smiling and giggling and coughing. That's just kind of what we do. So, and besides Warren, everything is still absolutely in my control. But Warren's sick, or if he wants to start smiling and giggling, I know I need to be more active with him. So that part is, I don't know when those are going to happen. I don't know when that giggle is going to happen for me. It happened for his grandpa. His grandpa got a giggle out of him, and we've been seeking that high. We've been trying our darndest to figure out whatever it did. He gave us the, I opened my mouth, I giggled, he giggled back, and we're like, we've been sociopathically giggling at this little boy and holding our mouth open, and nothing has happened yet. Not a single thing, just a stern look and
So you're
maybe a
just, like,
smile.
Dead stare laughing at your baby right now.
Oh, trying to.
Yeah, what's it
No,
sound like? Giggle, giggle. Do a
Oh,
Warren giggle. Come on, man.
Oh, I can't do a Warren giggle. It's way too high pitched.
No, that you do to
Oh,
get
what
him
I
to
do?
giggle. Yeah.
Face the camera.
So,
yeah.
like,
Oh, and he's got to get into character.
yeah, because it's a big thing. Because normally what happens is I will give this giggle. Brianna will say, "What is that?" And then I'll real laugh. So it's a really good dynamic we
Okay,
have going
sweet.
on
Okay,
here.
good. And
So
scene.
it's. And then Bree goes, "That's terrible." And then I go,
Just turn into evil.
"See,"
Brady.
and that's exactly it. And then it finally goes to the real spot, and nothing. He's just like, "Smile, okay."
Like,
Is this
what
Tim
the
who got
hell
the
was
giggle?
that, man?
Yeah,
What
it's
are you saying?
exact-
Like, what?
No, Bree's dad.
Bree's dad?
Bree's dad, Les, is the one that got him to smile, and I am
Are you okay?
furious.
Okay. There it is.
No, I've been searching that high ever since. I'm so happy he's giggling and laughing,
That's
but
funny.
come on, do it at the household, buddy. We're waiting on you. That is completely out of my control, and I have tried my darndest. So I will give it like good old fashioned. I am 85% in control. The 15% is still out there.
Cam, you in control?
Yeah, I'll bite off of your chess example, but I'm not playing chess.
It's like chest.
Chess.
Whoa.
Chess, the game of chess that you're
Okay,
playing.
yes. Yeah.
I don't play chess. I play backgammon,
Mhm.
which is a game of
Ooh.
strategy and chance because you roll dice,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
die
Yeah.
to move around the board.
Mhm.
So there's definitely some strategy, but there's also like it's how you do with the role that you're given
Right.
to protect yourself and or benefit yourself later on in the game. So I guess that would be the game I'm playing is working with the abstracts, the chances of life to make whatever my plan is going forward to be better.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not.
Can you give me a percent? Like if I said 90-10 or 80-20?
Yeah, I'd probably go on the 75-25. 75 not my control.
Yeah.
25 I got
Wow.
control of.
You like that?
It's fine. I deal with it. it's the way it's like my previous choices have led me to this part of my life, so that's how I am now.
Gotcha.
And I'm sure that'll even out the other way once I
I'm
in
not.
10 years.
That literally sounds like the
When I'm
same
old,
person
man.
that says, "I am following the Grateful Dead." 25% is I get there, and 75% is what happens when I'm there. It just literally sounds like the exact same.
That's me, baby.
Got another one from season 5. This season, episode 1.
It is season 5.
It is. Who would have known? Not me.
The episode 1 was passion, and the question was, where does passion come from?
Oh shoot! I was hoping we wouldn't get this one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I think we touched on it before we started recording. Was that with you guys, or was that? I've had multiple recordings today.
Oh.
So
You're recording around?
Cheating on us.
I got so many people coming into these studios.
That's why your life is 25-75.
Going to town.
Holy guacamole, that's exactly it. Look at that.
That's it. Yeah. But
Would you like to share
I
what
would
your
like to
cheating little
try
heart
that,
is?
yeah.
Okay.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
got
where's
blindsided
passion
by the
come from?
Cheating. Allegations of cheating.
Where's your passion come from?
Where'd my passion come from? Oh yeah, it was somebody said something about money. Money is a big passion driver. Like so,
Yeah,
if you
that's
mess
fair.
with somebody's money,
Ah,
they're gonna get upset, whether it's stealing it from them or not giving them or not owing them back or whatever that case might be, or withholding something to get something out of them type of idea.
Yeah.
Money's not my case, but that was the conversation that was had, whether it was with you guys or somebody else. But passion comes from, I mean, your interests, I guess, would be the thing. Like whatever you're interested, if you're vested, you have some sort of investment in it, whether it be time or money.
Mhm.
That's passion.
Okay.
part of a passion. I mean, that's not the whole thing, but that's
Right.
definitely a couple aspects that would relate to a passion,
Mhm.
because now you're investing things in it, tangible things. Whether your the outcome is intangible or not, you're still investing some real things into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess would be
Yeah,
my long ridiculous answer.
I think it's a great idea. I'm going to kind of piggyback off that as well. I think if it's something that at any point you can get upset about it, you're passionate about it. Because stuff that you don't care about, you won't get upset about.
But where's it come from?
Oh, crap. That's the question.
Yeah.
Anger. Rage.
There were 5 words in the question, and come from are 2 of them.
That's a good. That makes me angry and passionate about wording.
I'll jump. I think it's through kind of what you're talking about is like observation, self-awareness, and
Mhm.
resonance is kind of what I'm going to put it at. Those 3 words.
Wow.
So you observe something
That was
happening.
4 words.
Yeah, you're right.
And
That
Sorry.
makes me
what
angry.
I
I'm
wanted.
done. I'm out. No.
yeah, Wheel of Fortune counts it as a word.
Yeah, there we go.
Personally, I don't care about that. Okay.
Yeah.
No, so like I think as when you're a youth or whatever, you're coming up, or you're a young adult, even you observe other people doing things and you feel a certain way about it, and then you have to recognize how you feel about it. And I think you could do that subconsciously, but I think that's where your passion comes from. So like if you have goals to be famous, maybe it's because you saw a famous person, you're like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
And then you obviously recognize that you want that and you go for it. I don't think that's what everyone's passion is, obviously. Like mine is that I play sports as a kid and it always got me like a buzz. And so now I like to do that more because I recognize that that was something that was big to me and can make me feel better.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what it comes down to. I think the anger thing is also it, because like you could find yourself getting angry at somebody doing something that doesn't even relate to you. You could be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's gross, you know. It's like I think it happens with celebrities a lot,
Yeah.
where you're like, you don't like this person, but they've never done anything to you, they've never
Yeah.
done anything wrong, but you don't like them and you feel angry, and so you were pretty passionate about not being that kind of person.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think that's kind of narrowing down where I
Absolutely.
think it comes from, and I think that's kind of a reaction to your anger.
Yeah, you put it into really good words. A
Maybe.
lot better words than I could have.
I kind of
Pretty darn
dwindled
impressive.
out at the end, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're great. That's normally how all my answers go, anyways. They just kind of level out until someone talks.
I think passion would come from your experiences that you don't get negative reactions to.
Mhm.
So things that you have to be, if you're good at them, but then you do something and someone doesn't slap your hand and say, "Don't do that again."
Mhm.
I mean, if you're like, okay, well maybe, and they get some enjoyment out of it. Kind of goes into when we were doing our performance episode 100 years ago. Remember, we were talking about why would you perform? Is it just for yourself or is it for someone else? And it's maybe it's along those lines. It's like, okay, so for me, I don't know what it would be. Maybe it would be doing the news. So okay, yeah, you don't suck at it. So maybe I'll just do it more and more and more, and over time the passion develops.
Mm.
And then also I have other things that I like to do. You know, it's like golf, and there was basketball and guitar and that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, people don't really say you're terrible at it. Well, if they do, I can't
Behind
hear
your
it.
back, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so those become passions because it's like, okay, this is something I can lean into, and I'm not getting negative reinforced or negative consequences from it.
So like a quest for an accomplishment.
There you go.
would be
But
that
what
passion.
about your negative passion, like passionately despise? What about your negative passions?
Yeah, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same source. Maybe it's I do something or I see something that is just so, as you were saying, it inflames me and it makes me mad. Not a lot does, so that I get passionate about it. Or maybe when I see inequity or someone being victimized, that's a
Mhm.
passion where it's like, don't do that. I have a strong passions those ways, that way. But I think that's just from actually goes way back to what Hope said about knowing what in society what's good and bad.
Yeah.
Right? It's like in my brain I know how I was raised or whatever societal norms, that it's like, okay, don't do that. And if someone is breaking that societal norm, and not in a creative way, in a bad way where you're creating a victim and you're hurting someone, then I'm going to get passionate about it.
Yeah, that's when I start driving like a dick.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
hold on. Can I
Yeah.
ask one follow-up question?
Yeah,
real
do
quick?
whatever you
Why
want.
do you passionately despise people who cover the Beatles?
Oh, not who cover not cover them as in reporters. You mean cover
Yeah.
No, like
who do have
make
cover
cover
songs? Yeah,
songs.
because it's
Oh,
not because I
yes.
have a sense of how, and I know how good they are, and how on
The
multiple
Beatles.
levels, the Beatles. And then if the person who does the cover of their songs doesn't do it to that extent, then I have a problem with it.
Okay.
I
All
get,
right.
I get that.
I need to get
Uh,
that.
and you're talking like
Yeah.
if they do it, like try to do it exactly.
And
Or just
fall
in general.
short, or they just kind of half-ass it. There's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, because I know I know because it's a popular song, and I was able to get the rights to perform this or whatever. I know the audience will know
Right.
the song, and so they're gonna
They'll dig
lean
it.
into it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be lazy. And it's like, come
That's
on.
definitely one of my things. If they
Yeah.
try to cover a song that's worldly known or whatever,
Right,
and they just try to do it exactly the way it was done,
right.
that just irks me.
Makes you mad.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude,
Yeah.
do your own thing. Like, it's
Mhm.
cool you got
Mhm.
the song, but also like, let's make it your own. Like, you're not the Beatles, so do the song the way you would
The way you do it.
Do it
Yeah.
and
differently.
not the Beatles.
What's
way.
your thought on the national anthem? People doing the national anthem, kind of going all crazy with it.
I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Scott Key got it right the first time. I don't know.
Right.
He nailed it.
Throw
right.
some
As in
fiddly
Francis?
chops.
Nailed it right from the get go, and any deviation is wrong.
He's their buddy, so he just calls him
Yeah.
Scott. Key.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, him and I were in the break together back in
They
the
were in
day.
a fraternity. Yeah, last names.
F. Scott Key.
Yeah.
Hey, well, how'd you feel when that bridge went down?
Oh, we were pretty rampart parts.
Wow.
Oh wait,
Since he was your buddy, it
He-
was
he
Francis
was.
Scott Key Bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, was it seriously?
It
was.
Oh my god! I did not know that. Oh,
This
this is
is
where it
watching the
goes
news.
Oh,
I'm putting that little nugget in there.
no.
Yeah,
oh, that's so bad for me and my boy.
I know. That's right. Yeah, so
Jeez.
Take a breather. Get
Yeah.
outta here.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
Now I will say,
try to
I
get
think
the passions going.
Hope, I think, is probably is not probably she is one of the most passionate people I know.
Easily.
Easily. In a good way. I mean, in a good way. I mean, there's no negative to that. So, do you have any idea where that comes from?
I mean, I was going to say probably a conglomeration of everything that you guys have been saying and just your experiences. Like, most of it probably from when I was a kid, not to get like psychological with it, I guess, but
That's where we're doing.
On this
guess.
podcast?
Yeah.
I
Just don't
know
get
if that's-
philosophical about
it. We are not
Psychological,
psychologists
okay,
either, so-
Philosophical, no. I don't know. I don't know how. Obviously, there is probably a link to. There is definitely a link to what you're exposed to as a kid and how you feel about it and your reactions to it as an adult and stuff. But yeah, if I feel like the I don't know. I don't want to repeat things that everybody else has been saying, but pretty much like Dad, what you were saying about the positive experiences, like keep taking things from those and then drawing that as a passion. But then also I think there are definitely negative passions. Like there are a lot of things that I am fueled by, like anger, but the anger comes from probably something that I've been exposed to or have some kind of personal tie to in some way, like some kind of injustice or some kind of something that's either happened to me or somebody that I love or something like that, that I'm like, it irks me in a special way. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Something that I've experienced, I guess. So yeah, I feel like passion is definitely just drawn from previous experience, both positive and negative.
Cool. This is a hard turn. Season 4, episode 2, we did a food episode.
Okay, yeah.
Should you always eat what makes you happy?
No.
No. Yeah, hard no.
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
All right, let's hear
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Let's
do the hard take
Hope's
here.
like, yeah,
take.
perfectly skinny all the time, can eat whatever. Drinks 3 Dr. Peppers a day, doesn't affect her at all.
3.
That's it.
At least.
That's like, no,
Yeah, at least
we're all
3.
like, come on. Yeah.
I would say it's maybe even 2 now. I've been trying to be getting
Why do
better.
you do that? Dr. Pepper makes you happy.
That's right.
I think it's
Yeah,
just
give it up
I
for
might be
Nice.
drinking too much of it that I'm like, there's times that I'll drink and I'm like, dang, this is really sweet. Like this is just really sweet.
You start
like,
to not like it anymore?
yeah, kind
Oh,
of
your
a little
taste
bit.
buds are growing
But
up.
then like, but then I'll drink it like 2 hours later and I'm like, no,
The same one.
I'm
It's
good.
probably
We're
flat.
so back.
Oh, yeah.
no, it's a different fresh one. So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
maybe they just had the recipe off in the last one or something.
It only
you know?
had 22. There you go.
Yeah, they were
Where's that
missing
20 there?
some balance somewhere. But life is short, you know.
It is. It is indeed.
You never know when it's gonna end. Quite frankly,
Well, you might.
Wow. I'm
you
starting-
never know when your last cupcake's gonna be.
Mhm.
You got a
I would
good
be
point.
so sad if the last thing that I ate in my life was a celery stick, some
She makes a
salad
good point there.
somewhere.
Here lies
Some
hope.
salad
She
somewhere.
regrets salad.
Well,
Salad,
there goes our celery sponsor.
Oh
Shoot.
yeah.
Big celery's out.
Dole,
Yeah.
not coming around
Dole.
here.
Oh, I got it.
Sorry, guys.
I hope that was.
That was
I
perfect.
like that point though. That was certainly good because like
It was.
the more you realize your cooking palate and also certain things that you really enjoy, it is nice to figure out that certain foods that you didn't like before are gonna make you feel better afterwards. Because I love Valentino's pizza. I ate half of Valentino's pizza and I feel miserable right now. Did it make me happy? Absolutely, it did.
You did mention that when I first saw you. You were like, "Ugh."
Yeah, no, my brain is a fog. I've got so much stuff going processed through my body.
Thanks
right
for
now.
bringing it to the episode, man.
Yeah, you're so welcome. The final one, baby, it's in there.
But it doesn't always have to be bad food that
Yeah,
makes you
I
happy,
agree.
You know, like it can be healthy food or food that you know is going to be tasty that happens to also be healthy,
Yeah.
Which is what?
which is like
Oh man.
I don't
would love
know,
to know
avocado
what's
toast.
tasty and healthy.
Avocado
agree.
toast?
All right,
yeah.
so I have changed my mind on avocados
Yogurt.
recently.
Oh.
Okay, okay.
So I'll
you
give you
say there's
that.
no growth in
Growth.
this podcast.
Yeah,
I'll
that
give
was
you that.
beautiful.
Were you just shamed into that or what?
No, I just hated it. It's like guacamole. It's
Mm.
just bland. It's bleh. There's nothing to it. It's just squishiness in your mouth, and it doesn't have any flavor. But then I don't know. I had some, and it was good.
It was guacamole.
It was
Was there like
good.
cayenne on it or anything?
I don't
Like,
know.
there was
It
peppers
was like,
in there and
this isn't
stuff?
bad. I can get down on this.
Was there like a bright light, like a ha ha, and the angels were singing?
Yeah,
and
Carla rejoiced. Hallelujah! We can finally have avocados.
that's actually in the Bible. And Carla rejoiced.
Carla rejoiced. Let there be avocados for everyone. Avocados for
$5
everyone.
per
Hey.
avocado.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow.
This podcast not brought to you by avocados from Mexico.
No, there.
For Mexico. So everybody else besides Hope and possibly Brady.
Yeah, 50-50 still.
All right. Also from season 4, episode 5, it was a purely hypothetical. It was actually
Nice.
part 3 of the purely hypothetical
We lost track of
episodes.
the numbers on
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
That's it. And the question was, would you, and this actually goes to the eating question, would you rather live an unhappy life and be remembered fondly or live a happy life and not be remembered by anyone?
The second one.
Yeah.
Happy but no memory.
Yeah, happy,
Happy,
but
no one
nobody
remembers you,
remembers me.
And
yeah.
you're not, history forgets you.
yeah.
History's gonna
There's
forget
so many
everyone.
people. It's
some
there's
point.
no exactly. The world's gonna
It's true.
end.
I know, but it's just it's so
Sorry.
dark.
yeah. It's like
history
a million
to
years from
forget
now. No one's
everybody.
going to talk about anyone from right now. Or from,
Right.
Or will they?
They might.
Yeah.
And depending
We're
on
going to change everything.
It also-
Starts now.
it also depends on what
Are
you'd
you
even
good?
get known for. Because like the chances are that you might get known for some niche thing, and then
Oh yeah.
who's gonna be talking about you 50 years from like not
Yep.
that many people,
Yeah, they're
I
making
would
serial
much
killer
rather-
documentaries or something. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah. I would much rather
I'll take
We
it.
we all remember H.H. Holmes.
much rather do things that I enjoy and spend a life that I am happy with.
I mean, if it would be being remembered fondly would be better. If it was live an unhappy life and be remembered fondly, I would take that. I don't think I would do very well knowing my son doesn't remember me whenever I'm gone. Like that would be,
Ooh,
that would be tough.
that'd be a dark question.
That's
Yeah.
a very tough one for me to.
Once you're
get
dead, you're
past.
forgotten.
I
Whew.
am going to take the unhappy life and being remembered.
Yeah.
Remember now, if it's just remembered in general by my son, if it's I made an impact on his life, I am over the moon.
So what about like photos, letters, tangible things that you could leave for him?
I mean, he wouldn't remember it, right? Is it just not the? If I could
Like
leave
the
him,
emotional connection would
Like,
be
he would see the
gone.
picture and be like, I don't know who that guy is.
yeah, that would be worse.
This is
Mm.
the issue with having
Yeah.
questions written by a very single person.
Yeah,
it was a blast going back and listening to these
Oh,
questions.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I was going through some stuff.
but yeah, having I guess any memory with my son at least would be better than none, I suppose.
Along those lines, season 1, episode 6, it was the heroes episode, and Grayson asked, "Are you somebody's hero?" Do you think-
Probably, yeah. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. They haven't come forward.
But they're out there.
Somebody looks up to me for some fucking reason.
Count
I
on
love
it.
that for you.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I mean, what are the odds? They have to be. They have to be in your
Gotta be
favor.
somebody.
Wow.
Wow. Is it bad to be a hard no? Is that a bad answer?
No.
No.
Okay.
Better than sound like a papa's asshole, I guess, right?
I'd walk that line pretty good. I'm gonna go hard no then.
So you don't think of all those? What do you think of all? You taught a bunch of kids tennis.
You're right. I'm the best. I'm a hero. No.
What a
That's what I'm here for.
unwavering Grayson. That's what we call you.
Unwavering gray. No,
You can
I
say
don't.
no. That's
I don't think I'm a hero. They looked up to me for sure, but like I was only
Well,
there
you're
for like,
6'4".
a year. Yeah, they got to, you know. And I told them all the good jokes. I told them the Hobbin and Nobbin jokes. I told them all
that's
the
a
good
great one,
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they look up to me and they're like, I aspire to be that guy, you know,
Fair.
which I'm fine with. I don't, you know.
I'm
and
the
like,
opposite. Those people look up to me like that.
All of the kids I
All of
taught
them.
look up to Kahm.
I can't imagine I'm somebody's hero. I imagine somebody out there probably looks at me because I have a very public job and may either in a negative way envy me, what being on the air or whatever. But I imagine there's some people probably would like to emulate my job, if not me, maybe the way I do it. But hero is when I heard this question, when you asked it, I was like, that's such a hard word.
Mhm.
I mean, outside of Kahm, obviously, who is a hero? You know, he wears Superman pajamas, right?
Every day.
Or what
Mhm.
snugglies? What do we decide they were?
Snuggies.
Snuggies, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
it doesn't have to be as grand as like someone, you know, people aspire
pulling
to
someone
be.
out of a car.
It could be someone who makes you want to live or makes you want to continue on your life. You know, it makes you want to achieve something or at least stay around so that person can still be in your life. I think that's still a hero. My opinion. I don't think it needs to be someone I aspire to be.
Well, then I hope I'm somebody's hero.
I mean, yeah, you probably are
Yeah.
heroes a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, I would hope that there's some kind of, and if I am, then I would expect the hero worship to begin.
Okay. Well, you're not my hero. How about that?
Shoot.
Take it back.
If that's the line.
Dang it. Thought I was going to, I don't know, like
Yeah, trying to leverage
shekels or
that
something
nice
was going to come at
moment.
me.
Yeah, it was so close. We were so
We
close.
all hoist him out of here while he's still sitting on his chair.
Hey. Speaking of that, in season 4,
Hoisting your petard. Is that where we're
yes,
going?
episode
Yeah.
8. No, we're not going to go that far, but it's
All right.
close.
That was bad. That's
It's close though. Are you
Yeah.
cool enough to be a nerd?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I was
hope
just
to
having
answer
this
this one.
conversation the other day about
with
how-
another group.
with another bunch of
Oh,
people that I know.
All day hearing about these other
I'm
recordings.
just kidding. You guys are my only friends.
Good.
No, but like I said something like, "Oh, that guy's a total nerd," and they are like, "Oh, that's mean." I'm like, "No, I'm a nerd. It's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's all right to be a nerd. I'm just, I just don't look like a nerd, I guess."
Fair. But yeah, absolutely.
You're a
It's
So yeah, it's way cool to be a nerd.
darn tootin'.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Is it cool to be? Are you cool enough to be a nerd? Was the question.
Oh, I
Oh.
think I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a lower echelon
You're-
of nerddom,
You're
but
the
I'm
be-
in there. I'm a
nice.
mix.
So you
Like
so
kind of
you're-
weird.
Right. Like I like Star Wars, but I'm not going to know everything about Star Wars in that nerdy realm.
But
right?
what's your area you do nerd out about?
Like I love Star Wars and I love comic books, Marvel, DC, all that. I'm kind of in that realm.
Yeah.
Also on a tech side of things, I love like putting stuff together that needs some technical components and things. So
absolutely.
I have that nerdydom going
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
Video games, things of that nature. Old video games, not new ones.
Will you allow yourself to go as far in as you want to go into these things?
Whatever my skill level and however much shit I can fit in my brain without pushing out more things
Yes.
that I need to have to survive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, you have to want to have the brain commitment.
Yes.
Which is why I
Yeah.
want Hope to answer.
Yeah. And that, my friends, is the definition of brain commitment.
I was gonna say I think I have the Riz, but I don't have.
Yo, that is short for charisma.
Is that what that is?
That is. It's
Thank
short
you.
for charisma.
Yeah, But
usually only exclusively used when you're trying to pick up someone else.
No.
Yes, it is not a disease.
Yes.
no. But
I
like,
got a minor raise.
I
It's the
think-
Riz. Time to get the cylinder.
I'm cool enough to be a nerd in terms of I don't know. Like I think when I think of a nerd, I think of really smart people, like really smart people. Granted they have
Thank you.
interests in things that are, you know, not necessarily the same as me, but they're really smart people. And I don't think that like that makes me so scared. So I don't think that I'm cool enough in terms of keeping up in conversation with them and stuff. I get really insecure and scared around nerds because I don't think that I have the brain. What was my word?
Commitment.
Commitment. Yeah,
Mhm.
like the brain commitment.
For what they're
Depending,
nerds at.
but yeah, it's depending
What
on
about,
what
like,
the
your
subject
nerd?
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely depending on what you're nerding out on. But if we're talking about like Star Wars, Dungeon and Dragons, like those kind of nerds, quote unquote,
Mhm.
like usually the kinds of people who are into those things are very smart, technical, like science, whatever. I don't know.
Thank you.
Are you cool?
Yes,
Are
yeah,
you
it's
cool enough
just-
to be a show choir music nerd?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a textbook definition.
No,
Yeah.
because I don't know everything. I don't know. I can't read music. I don't know enough about show like nowadays. Absolutely not. Yeah,
Okay. Are you a mixology nerd?
Yes.
maybe. I don't even know if I'd consider myself that because I don't spend all of my time like I don't devote. I'm not like, oh, I need to go learn a new cocktail. Like,
Well, right. I don't think all nerds are like living in their mom's basements, you know.
right, but I
going,
don't
like-
spend like I'm not at home making myself like cocktails in my free time and
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not divulging any of my free time into doing that.
But you could, I bet you could make a point that if you went into a group, a dinner party or whatever, you had several different small groups, and you could go from small group to small group to small group to small group, and if the conversation came up about music, if it came up about theater, if it came up about mixology, I bet you could lead the conversation, and if not lead it, you would be able to answer all the questions, and everybody else in those small groups would go, wow, she's kind of a nerd for whatever
That's
it is.
true, but if I was in a group of mixologists or if I was
True.
in a group of, you know,
True.
like
Yep.
if I was surrounded by others, then I don't think
Right.
I don't know. It depends on
I think I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd, but if I'm sitting there if like
With a
J.R.
bunch of-
Tolkien sitting
yeah.
across the table, he's gonna like hold my
yeah.
whatever it is, ale or mead or whatever it is.
Mead,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So obviously it's in the group, but
subjective, yeah.
I also, yeah. The intention of my question wasn't that are you the smartest at something? Are you cool enough to be the smartest at anything? It's are you cool enough to follow your own interest into a rabbit hole?
I
Are
think
you, are you
so,
cool enough to
yeah.
follow something that piques your creativity or your interest?
Sways from the
And
norm.
straight
Yeah.
And when confronted about it, are you cool enough
Yeah.
to own that
Own
shit?
that you did
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Then
That-
yes.
Sick.
you could have saved us so much time if you just explained your
sitting there
question.
like I know what to say here.
I know the answer because I asked the question.
Yeah. For the start of the pandemic, whenever that just started to hit, I
Mhm.
had nothing to do with my time besides just be with my wife was still in pharmacy school, and I had a computer, and I
Didn't you bleach your hair?
I did bleach my hair. I did bleach my hair. It was squash blonde, but that's not the point of the story.
Wait, no,
I
are
have
there-
photos.
Thank you.
I have photos. I will show you after this.
Good,
There
okay.
are photos.
Oh wow.
Yes, I came
I'm thinking
back.
flock of seagulls, right?
More no squash blonde.
Squash bomb.
Okay.
Squash blonde. Yes, a little more dark, but I was
Great superhero name, by the way.
so Magic the Gathering Online was
Ah.
just starting up, and I was 16th in the world
Oh my
on
god.
Magic the Gathering
Wow.
Online.
Nerd.
Yep. I was.
So that is a massively played thing.
It is
That's crazy.
It is a lot bigger now, but during the
Wow.
pandemic, I was running a single deck that I was very good at for 2 weeks. I lost one time, I think I can remember, in 2 weeks. I was really good. I didn't know, to be fair, the game is you play one game, you play another one, and then a game after if you tie on the second one. So I was really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty okay at it now. My friends have realized that they did something to me recently that I was more honored than just playing against them. Like they went out, one of the guys bought a completely new deck. He created a completely new deck list. So he bought cards, and these cards are going to cost like $5-10 a pop. Some of them are like $50-60. And he showed me the list. He went through, he worked with it with me for the entire time. I was showing him what he needed to do. And he said, you know what, Brady, I'm so excited for this. Here's this new deck. I mean, I got it all ordered in. Are you ready to play? I'm like, absolutely. So we sit down and he pulls out the new deck and he's like, Brady, can you give the introduction to this? I'm like, yep, we've been working on this new deck for a while. It's got a theme with the 3 kingdoms. It is this ancient Chinese based deck that uses horsemanship as its winning mechanic. And then immediately after, he flips over the card, and it is a deck that is specifically built to beat my deck that I am running. And everyone around the table knew it beforehand. He literally concocted this entire new story for me to get beat and be surprised.
It was a jerk.
It was the most amazing thing in the world.
Are you okay?
It was for 3 weeks. He set me up for failure for 3 weeks. And he
It's a
was
long
working
game,
with
yeah.
everyone else in our play group. It was the most honored I felt to know that I was that much of a problem. It was so great.
nice.
It was so amazing. He did it. I felt like a fool, but then I was like, you guys spent so much time on this. Oh my goodness. You want me to feel bad, and I feel terrible. But you know what? I also feel so honored that you take my nerdiness this far. Thank you so much.
You're the most annoying person on the planet. Because everybody else would be mad, but you're like,
No,
wow,
that's great.
thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
so
I felt-
positive.
I
It's
felt
great.
so good. It was so incredible that they spent that much time working to deceive me.
absolutely.
That's tremendous.
That was so much time. It was
You were
amazing.
the bar.
That's
You were the bar.
You
that
were
was
the-
that's
you
something I
were
can
the bar.
only
Yeah.
achieve for. It was so good. It was orchestrated. There were 6 people in on it. It felt so bad, then good immediately afterwards.
That's sick. That is cool.
Wow.
And nerdy.
Yeah, super nerdy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's
I don't pick up on the nerdiness in this.
3 kingdoms
Or-
beating with the horse deck? What are you
or
talking about?
or the passion.
Or the passion. No,
yeah, that makes sense.
it doesn't describe Brady at all.
Wow.
I'm angry.
It's just Brady.
Hey, season 2, episode 15, because we had 20 episodes that year. Would you rather question everything or take things as they are? Would you rather
would be a-
question everything, or
I'd
take things?
rather-
Do you want to tell us what the question meant before you asked? Before we go
Yeah,
down
No,
the
that
rabbit
one
hole?
I was pretty succinct about. I would rather take things as they are and be comfortable with it, because I found that even when I question things, I don't answer my own questions.
It seems like such a harder road
Yeah.
to question everything.
you probably are
Everything.
smarter at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess who am I to say? If you can be cool with everything that comes at you,
Yeah.
then maybe you're smarter than anyone who questions anything.
Or maybe you're questioning what knowledge you have. Whether
Maybe.
you,
yeah,
so
you
you're
would be
second
questioning
guessing yourself.
Yeah, no. But I do think there's an issue with taking everything at face value.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. But if it's between the two extremes, I'm definitely taking,
Same, I
not
think-
questioning things.
I think my anxiety would thrive way too
Yeah,
much
right.
in questioning everything.
Yeah.
I'd just be paranoid and never leave the house and see the light of day ever
Yeah, I mean,
again.
is that like a
you know?
thing where you see a TV, you're like, oh, how does that work? Like that kind of like question
Yeah.
You could figure that out.
everything. I know, but like,
Yeah.
But you would question it.
you couldn't take a step without, oh, hey, what's that light switch doing? And like,
Right.
you have to question why it's on, and then
Mhm.
figure it out, turn it off. Like kind of like that
Man,
in depth on the questioning.
Yeah,
everything.
I'm not an expert, obviously, but man, I would wonder if certain people on the spectrum would not fall into that,
Oh,
where
yeah.
they would question literally everything.
Mhm.
They would just be everything would be
Right
like, I
now,
wonder, I
yeah.
wonder, I wonder, I wonder.
Right,
Mm.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. That would be exhausting.
The hard thing with that when I wrote
Yeah,
that
it
is
would
like
be.
why I didn't want to answer it. And is that I think the
Oops.
world would be a much better place if everybody questioned everything. I do think we would be better off.
Yeah.
'Cause I think people taking things at face value is dangerous.
I just
but
don't think
for my-
anything would ever get done.
Yeah,
I-
but you wouldn't be
I think you're right.
dictated to as much. You wouldn't have to.
Mm.
You wouldn't fall for
Mhm.
dogma. You wouldn't fall for propaganda.
Mm,
These
mm.
things, but
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
selfishly, I would rather just take things as they come, knowing
Yeah.
that will
Well-
never be an option.
I think I'll push back on Hope a little bit. I think on both aspects, nothing gets done. Because if you question everything too much, nothing's getting done. If you don't question anything at all, nothing's getting done. It's finding that
Yeah.
perfect
Mm.
mid-range. I'm
Mhm.
gonna, for the sake of my own sanity, I think I would have to do question nothing and accept it, because if you're questioning everything all the time, like there's such a big rabbit hole where you're not going to get a conclusion on anything. The deeper you dive, the more you know, the bell curve of people that think that they know everything right from the get-go and they know nothing have way more confidence. And so you go up, you realize that like, okay, I've got more and more strength. And then the more you know about it, the more you start to question what you know about it, and your confidence in it goes down and down. So I would be in that part where if I'm questioning everything, I'd be I guess you're just picking which side of the Gaussian curve are you going to be on, the confident knowing nothing or the knowing everything but super unconfident about it type of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess there's also a point where you can reach that I am going to be super confident once I know everything about this, but you have to
still-
realize you don't know that.
And you'll question if you know everything about it.
That's
still,
exactly
that-
that's the point where no
Yeah.
matter what you're going to be on the I've got no confidence on this. 'Cause
Which, yeah, I mean, you say like it's the same. Like, innovation comes from questioning things.
Absolutely.
For sure. It's like I think that's actually a political thought experiment.
Mhm.
It's kind of where that was based off of. Is like, would you rather test everything or accept things that are given to you?
Yeah.
And you want to test things because you can build the next thing. If you know everything about something, then you're still questioning if you know something, you're going to create something else
Yeah, absolutely.
in that same vein.
Absolutely.
All right, got a couple more. Hope asked this season 5 earlier this season, episode 5. It was the dreams episode. She said, "Are we in a dream right now?"
Wake up.
Someone did fall asleep listening to this episode. Now they're just like, oh, I get a sweat.
Hope, since you asked it, you get the answer first.
And also, what did you mean by that?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
That's a good question.
you know how you have those dreams that are just really realistic?
Just kidding. I was just kidding. About
Oh,
We
okay.
might not be the same, you and I. We might not quite be the same.
No. Not all the way.
so. No, we're not in a dream right now. We're not the
I
figment of
don't
some other
know.
beast's imagination.
I think we might be. But I don't.
I think we might be.
Ah,
That's a vivid imagination.
I honestly,
Yeah.
I've had days where like, how do I describe this without sounding crazy? Like I need to be checked in
The
somewhere.
good thing is you are at the
Um,
right spot for this.
Right.
Let her fly.
Yeah, eye
Tell you what.
contact with Brady and tell the story.
Commit your
I don't
brain
know.
to it.
I feel like sometimes
There you go.
I just like I get in, and maybe this is human experience, but I get in funks or I get in just like phases, and then I wake up one day and I'm like, never mind, out of phase done, and now I'm into new chapter of life,
Mhm.
and I literally feel like I am starting a new chapter sometimes, and so sometimes that feels like, oh, that was a dream. Like, honestly, I just lived in Colorado for a year. That felt like a dream. It doesn't feel like that
That's-
happened in
yeah,
real life
I
to
can
me.
relate. Texas.
You know,
I
like
forget. I
that
just forget
doesn't
it
feel
happened.
real. Like, I know it did. I know I was there, and I know that's obviously time was spent. Time is linear in some way.
Time keeps passing,
Yeah.
as you say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. It's
Oh, yeah.
fake,
Let's
but
talk
like,
about time being linear right now.
Ah.
I can't. You guys can't though.
We already did.
Oh, circular.
Nerd.
I don't think that if somebody were to just look at me like Grayson, if Grayson were to turn to me right now and just be like, "Wake up," I would open my eyes and be in a completely different world. I don't think that that's necessarily true.
Only one way to find out. It's coming.
But
Won't
it
do right
does
now.
feel
She's
like
expecting
that.
it.
I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
So this is the last question I want to ask. And it is actually the first question, the first unanswerable question that was asked by Grayson. Season 1, episode 1, the first one that we posted. After you're gone, will people care about who you were or just how you performed?
How you performed.
Really?
I don't think anyone will truly. I'm granted, again, very single. I don't think anyone will really know who you are to yourself. I don't think the person you think you are is ever going to be known by someone else. And it's true in the fullest extent possible. Like they will never. Granted, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I haven't met someone who does get me that, intimately, but no, I think it's how you performed and how you acted towards the people that you care about that will be remembered.
I agree. I was hoping otherwise, but I was like, maybe if you like write like the concept of how a bunch of artists got famous after they died. But that's based off of their performances. Like that's
Right.
based off of like, and I was like, I don't know, artists and stuff. That their work is usually an insight into what's inside of them, but art is subjective and it might mean something completely different to what when they were creating it. They might have been creating it for a completely different reason than what it's being interpreted as.
Yeah.
Because performance is,
And you go back to like the most famous people in history. I mean, the most famous person right now in history is probably Jesus.
Mhm.
And the
It's
whole point
Muhammad.
is that we really,
It's Muhammad.
There's more people.
Okay, either
Yeah.
way, cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay, either way,
Yeah.
we don't actually know who they were to themselves.
Yeah.
That's a whole big thing.
Mhm.
That's why there's so many different sects of this, all this stuff. Sects.
Yeah.
CTS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
That's
a
why
lot
there's
of
so
different
many of
sects in
us.
churches.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry. It still just sounds really weird. Yeah.
Just saying.
No, you're right. No, that's the whole point. It's because we don't exactly know who these individuals were or
Yeah.
what they
Mhm.
intended necessarily.
Yeah.
People have an idea, but
That's
it's
exact-
not it's not a truth necessarily.
Yeah, literally the entirety of our United States system is based off of interpreting the Constitution of what the founding fathers thought was what the Constitution was intended to be. So,
Mhm.
I mean, of course, whenever you're trying to interpret what they were thinking, it's going to be the biggest influence for a lot of the gray areas in the law, but it's the hard parts are going to be the ones that are wrote in there. So actions, of
But-
course, are going to have the biggest part.
Yeah, and we know they wrote it. They performed it.
Agree, but there's some good people, some people that are really good at saying what they think the founding fathers thought they said. Some people
What
that
they
are
think
very,
they thought.
good. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I will say, like, there's some people like Thomas Jefferson wrote down absolutely everything. Like he was monotonous with everything that he was writing down. Like
What?
extreme.
But he wasn't monogamous.
Meticulous.
He was not
Meticulous.
monogamous.
Thank
He was not
Yeah, he
monogamous.
was
monogamous.
He was
It's-
monotonous
it's-
and
His
yeah,
performances
it's
were not
monotonous.
monotonous.
It's monotonous. It's like-
Monotonous.
like everything was
Nah,
really
nah, nah.
meticulous as well. They have both, I think, is the right word, but meticulous with everything.
Yeah.
Meticulous for sure. We'll use that one, Garrett.
Meticulous is locked. Let's get that.
He
locked.
But
wrote a
yes.
lot.
Yeah, wrote a lot. Like almost, I would like to think that most of his thoughts were wrote down for everything that he was doing, and he's probably our best. Like the Thomas Jefferson Foundation is there, and it's probably our best, well-kept founding fathers notes through everything. So just in general, like even that, like it still comes to a lot of this leeway of saying what the heck was he actually thinking before in this interim. I am going to agree that actions are by far the one thing you're going to be remembered for. I would like to think that my internal monologue and methodology of everything I was thinking and who I truly was what I was remembered for. But I mean, there's only so much I can do in a day. There's only so much people are going to remember. I mean, there's so many more experiences everyone else has and certain things. So I guess the big ones are going to be the big ones they remember. And those are going to come from action, since actions speed louder than words.
But see that, and Cam, I don't know if you agree with this, but it's like I think it depends on who the people are. Your smaller group, I think, are going to have a better idea of who you really are.
True.
Regardless, I mean, maybe you act, but you act one way, but you say something, and a larger group may hear you. In my case, larger group hears me say something, but they don't admit, they have a preconceived notion maybe of who I am.
Yeah.
But my closer circle really knows who I am.
They'll
Yeah.
know what's behind the action.
Right.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. And so they would,
Yeah.
and so then I think it depends then the size of the group is how you will be remembered.
Yeah.
By actions or by who you really are.
We can narrow it down if you'd like.
You asked the question. I just asked it again.
Again, you repurpose my content.
I did.
Yeah.
Cam, what do you
I
think?
expect
Yes.
royalties.
Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah, I like that that theory or train of thought with the smaller groups will remember you as you are, and then the bigger groups will remember what they think of you. Or
Yeah.
What
Right,
their
yeah,
thought
yeah.
process would be, because
Mhm.
they don't necessarily know the intimate details.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I had to choose, is that the thing?
Mhm.
Choose between the bigger
The-
groups,
which one
knowing who
would-
they think I am.
Which one do you think they will? Will people remember you for who you are or for how you performed?
I will go with performance.
Okay.
You're
Uh,
just guessing now, aren't you?
No,
No,
I would say that. I mean, outside of what I say on podcasts and previously on radio and stuff, which there's truth behind things that I say, but it's
Mhm.
all that character
Yeah.
of Cam Broham, the radio guy, or Cam Broham, the podcast guy. Not on this show. I'm 100% honest all the time. But
For sure, yeah.
but that persona, such that, Rob, you got it too with doing the new stuff. You have
Mhm.
that persona that people will remember. I think that, and mine obviously much smaller scale, but there's recordings of me saying things and doing things, and that will be what could be found after if I die tomorrow. Those will be the things that will live on and tell the story of me,
Right.
even though like my wife and family would know who I really am outside of that, and that story isn't that great comparatively to that BS facade that I put on for the show.
Sure.
So
Gotcha.
that would be my answer.
Perfect. Well, our performances these past 5 seasons hopefully have given people a better sense of who we really are, right? So we've answered 12 of the basically 60 unanswered questions. So that's just 1/5 of the questions that were posed.
Wow. I
Math.
smelled something. I didn't know you were doing math.
That was math in my head. In my head. So if you want to listen to more of the unanswered questions, I encourage you to do so. But Brady, you got anything?
I love you. Bye.
And that's season 5.